Hi, this is Caitlin Murphy, and I will be going over Section 5, which is MG and brain activity measures. So the first one is going over the EMG, which measures the electrical activity in muscles. This technique puts electrodes or an injection of one in specific muscles that track the beginning and end of an activation period. This was mentioned in the text, and I thought this was a perfect representation of what an EMG does, where you can see the electrodes are placed on the anterior deltoid and posterior muscles down below. You can see on the right when they start to activate in a certain motor skill, and it's recorded in a polygraph type of way. The next one is an EEG, which measures electrical activity in the brain, specifically measuring the voltage from neuron activity. This activity is detected by the electrodes that are transmitted to amplifiers on recording devices. The electrodes are placed all over the person's scalp. Since brain activity is rhythmic, the EEG picks up the rhythmic waves, and there are 4 types. The fastest are beta waves, which means that the cortex is very active, and also alpha waves, which means the brain is quiet, but it's still awake. The slowest waves are theta, which means you're in a good sleep, and delta, which means deep sleep. This has been most commonly used to test brain cortex stimulation characteristics in skilled athletes. So it shows the mental state before, during, and after performance. And the next one is the PET scan, which is another neuroimaging technique. It provides a more observational look into the activity of the brain. This scan shows blood flow and metabolic activity in the brain. This inhaled or injected substance contains positively charged electrons. When mixed with blood, it produces an electromagnetic radiation. This can be picked up by the scanner, and with the result, it shows the increased activity with more enhanced color, and it's used to detect neural substrates in cognitive and motor skills. So in this next picture, this is just one example that a PET scan is used for, which is locating Alzheimer's disease. But why I wanted to show you this was it shows you the steps of what happens, and it also shows you the result, which shows what part of the brain is more active. This next one is called the fMRI, and this is different than the MRI because it's called functional, which means it's less restrictive than the MRI and allows you to get up and get moving. This assesses the blood oxygenation in the brain while a person performs a skill. It provides a clear picture of the active brain and gives quantitative information about the oxygenation levels of the brain region. And this is also less restrictive, like I said earlier, and it allows to assess the brain activity's correlation with motor control. The next one is an MEG, which assesses magnetic fields created by neuron activity, and it provides a direct measure of the brain, which is an advantage because those tests before then only test for secondary measures, which use brain metabolism to test them. The MEG provides a very high resolution of the temporal region of the brain, and it provides more specific regions of the brain that are active, and it's usually paired with other tests. This next one is called the TMS, and it is used to excite or inhibit activity in the brain's cortex. So it causes a disruption to normal brain activity, which results in learning how a person behaves when a part of their brain doesn't function normally. This is used to understand the function of brain regions, and this coil produces the pulse magnetic activity to disrupt it in that certain area, and that's how they figure it out. With the picture right next to it, I just wanted to show how they use that coil to create the magnetic activity going into the brain, and it's going to disrupt that neuron right there, and that's how they figure out what that part of the brain is used for. So, all the takeaways that I got from this was to understand all the assessments of brain activity and how they allow us to observe how differently our brains may function with different motor skills. And it answers the question, what neurological explanation is there for everyday motor control that we have? Thank you for watching, and have a great day.